Good evening. It is December 7th, 2022. This is the Hrpb meeting. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, call it to order. Can we get the roll call?
Kip Catherine,
I'm here.
Bob Granda,
Here.
Mariana Gonzalez,
Here.
Steve Pickett,
Here.
Eddie Knight, Jamie Foreman. You have a quorum.
Okay.
Tricia. Allison Mishler. Still have a quorum.
All right, then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
First, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so any additions, deletions, reordering?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So under planning issues, item A, conceptual review for potential new additions and new construction of guest house at 302 Fordham Drive. That has been postponed for next meeting, possibly. The architect couldn't get the drawings on time.
Okay, so then we just have item A as new business.
Yes, sir.
All right, doesn't look like there is any minutes to approve, no applicants to swear in. So then, and don't need any board disclosures, I assume, because we're just hearing about some new LDR. So I guess we'll start with new business and go to item A, ordinance 2022.
I'll read it if you want, because I have to do it anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
Ordinance 2022 to be numbered, an ordinance of the city of Lake Worth Beach, Florida, amending chapter 23 land development regulations, article 3 zoning districts, division 2 residential districts, section 23.3-7 SFR single family residential, section 23.3-8 SFTF single family and two family residential, section 23.3-10 MF20 multifamily residential, section 23.3-11 MF30 medium density multifamily residential, and section 23.3-12 MF40 high density multifamily residential to reduce the minimum side setback to requirement for lots over 50 feet to a minimum of 5 feet, and providing for severability, conflicts, codification, and an effective date.
So Erin Sita for the record, Assistant Director for Community Sustainability. Basically, this item is about giving additional flexibility to some of our larger lots for those in those districts, which would allow an accessory dwelling unit. We have had folks who are interested in accessory dwelling units or pools in certain areas, which are all considered structures and have to comply with setback. The biggest one is the pools, honestly. And in those larger lots, sometimes the way the house and the existing structures are configured, it's hard to get a pool set back 10 feet from the side property line. So we were starting to see, we had a request for a variance and then they were able to like kind of squeeze it out, you know, and like barely make it. And so they decided to not go forward, but we've seen it a few times where it's been difficulty. There's some difficulty squeezing some of these accessory structures on the large lots just by simply how the structure was originally sited. And so this basically gives everybody for an accessory structure the same setback.
Side setback.
Regardless if they're a regular 50-foot lot or a 100-foot lot. So
So it doesn't.
well, it's a 50-foot lot is 10% is 5 feet. So it's already 5 feet. Yeah, it doesn't affect the 50-foot lot. It just basically gives anything above 50 feet the same side setback for accessory structures. This is not an uncommon thing, but it just allows people to like move their accessory and their pools around a little bit more in their yard. So
Is there a do you differentiate between accessory structures? In other words, what I'm looking at, I can understand why a swimming pool or sometimes having air conditioning units inside the setback and things like that. Sure. But I would have, I'd have probably maybe you though, possibly having a separate, in other words, the house has a 7.5 foot setback and if they want to put in an apartment or a guest house or whatever. you want to call it.
The full cabana or an accessory unit.
An accessory unit as opposed to a structure. Because I can see the other structures, I don't know if an accessory dwelling unit should be the same criteria as the main building.
Accessory dwelling units, they have a separate set of regulations, but they also, are applicable to, so if like a 2-story ADU would need a different setback because of that wall height at side setback. But like a single story, whether it's an ADU or a single structure, would have the same setback. So, it would be for a pool, for a shed, for a pool house. And again, it's not changing it for our existing lots. It's just, for our typical lot, it's just changing it on a handful of lots that are larger. And I just want to also say that it doesn't allow uses in districts where uses are not allowed. So, for example, an ADU is not allowed in single family residential. So their accessory structures in single family residential that would benefit if you had a 100-foot lot in single family, you could have your shed or your pool. And honestly, mostly it's pools. Now, mechanical equipment is regulated in a different section of the code. And if you are an existing structure, your mechanical equipment can already go in the side setback. What we ask people to do is basically get a letter from their neighbor to make sure their neighbor's like cool with it, because the mechanical equipment can be quite loud. Yeah. I will say the good thing is that AC condensers, the newer ones, are dramatically quieter than they used to be. So as people are upgrading their ACs, the noise level in the city will continue to go down over time. So that's a good thing, but we already provide for that because it's hard when you have an 100-year-old city to find a place to put the central AC if it never had central AC. Yeah.
So when it's mentioned single family residential, it's one of the areas that was being
Reference.
being referenced here. That is one of the zoning districts that is going to be amended
Mhm.
but not for ADUs. They're not allowed there.
They're not allowed there, so it doesn't,
So you're looking at pool sheds and
yeah. So if you're in a multifamily district or a single family 2-family, which is our duplex, it has a mix of single families, homes and duplexes. And a lot of those configurations, single family, 2-family, are in the form of a principal structure and an accessory dwelling unit. That's very common in our single family, 2-family. It's a mix of duplexes and then principal and ADU.
The other session. I don't have anything further. We have to.
Yeah, so you are a recommending body in this case. Do call for public comment, but you are a recommending body, so the motion will be to recommend approval or denial to the city commission.
All right, is there any public comment? All right, let me get a motion.
I don't see the motion, so.
Oh.
A lot of ways.
It would be a motion, since there appears to be consensus. I hope I'm not misreading it, but it would be a motion to recommend approval.
That's right, just a lot for.
I recommend to the city commission to adopt the proposed LDR text amendments included in ordinance 2022-21.
Do I get a second? Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? It's unanimous. All right, well, that takes care of that. So do you have any public comments, general public comments? No? Any department reports?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So for the record, I'm Yen Tarafa, Preservation Planner for the City of Lake Worth Beach. Item A is a notice of a demolition. It's for the garage structure and rear addition at 1125 North K Street. Can you have the PowerPoint?
Oh, sorry.
Is that in on that?
So what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the back.
It's on the back of it.
Sure.
All right, so this is subject properties contributing resource within the Northeast Lucerne Local Historic District. The property is located in the single family residential zoning district, and the future use is also single family residential. Next slide, please. Yeah. So it is located on west of North K Street between 11th Avenue and 12th Avenue North. Can you go one slide back? Sorry. Yeah, so this is a site photo showing where the demolition is going to take place. So it's going to be for the addition and the garage. Next slide, please. So this is the existing house. It was built in 1949 in the wood frame minimal traditional style. And the garage was built in 1951. The additions were added in 2005 and 2019. Next slide, please. So this is a photograph of the addition that was made in 2005 and 2019. As you can see, it's in bad shape. Next slide, please. This is the garage inside of the garage. This was built in 1951. Next slide, please. And on November 8th, 2012, building official Peter Ringel condemned it for demolition because of termite damage, rot and water damage. Next slide, please. I'm sorry.
22.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2022. So per the LDR and COA approval matrix, demolition of condemned structures in local historic districts require board notice and opportunity for the HRPB members to make comments. Any comments?
Is this structure that is demolished attached to the primary?
Yes, the addition is attached to the primary structure.
When they go to demolish it? Should there not be a set of plans showing how they're going to refinish or attach the primary?
So we are working with the applicants on those designs, but they just wanted to get on a notice.
Demolition.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. There's no motion then on this one at all.
No, this is just just notification.
Knock her down. I was in that property. Yeah. I don't think.
Thank you.
Board member comments.
So I'll just say, because I'm assuming staff comments, thank you all for your service. We're heading to the end of the year. This is the last hearing of the year. We'll see you again in January and have happy holidays, whatever they may be. And, don't miss us too much.
We already miss you. But the same to you all. Have a real happy holidays and happy new year. We'll see you.
Be safe, enjoy.
Yes. Don't drink too much. Did I say that?
Yeah.
And if you do need preparations for it. And no, thank you very much for your service. It's a pleasure working with you guys, getting the really complete reports that we get and explanations and the whole package. So thank you very much.
And putting up with long-winded board members from time to time.
We love our board members.
They appreciate your patience. Yeah.
Right then, I guess we're adjourned.
Thank you.
All right.